Hi Nupur, hi Priyanshu, hi Shreya. So good to see all three of you together. I think Priyanshu, recently we spoke for the anniversary edition of Indulge. So
Yes,
you are
yes,
also
right.
yes. But anyway, coming back to Unpause, I watched the trailer. Looks very interesting, and particularly your story. About young couples, and especially I think 2022 is 2020 TOO2. So I think it's just
Oh,
got,
no, don't say that.
at least now it looks like that. So, Nupur, I want to start off by asking you. You're someone who's given us stories that are very relevant to young Indians, whether it was Hip Hip Hooray or Mujhse Friendship Karogi or whatever it is. And now you have come back with this story. So, what was going on in your mind when you thought about this? Was it things that you were seeing around you?
Things that I was seeing around me, things that I was reading had a
Hmm.
huge impact. And the fact that, there was so many layoffs in every sector, Aisha. But
Hmm.
what was enraging was that more women than men were being laid off. And I was like, yeah, it's maybe, patriarchy even in this, like, hiring mein to we know,
Yeah.
when people get hired, more men get hired than women. And then even in the firing, more women get fired. And that seemed very, very unfair. And kind of, that was the sort of springboard. That was the first thought that came to my head. And then it kind of found its home in the story, in the story of this couple that's working from home through the pandemic. And I really wanted to explore, when something as devastating as this happens,
Yeah.
how do you deal with it? Because people who have a salary, who get, who work, who have steady jobs, and I mean, that's there, the fact that there's a financial loss and all of that, you don't know how to deal with it. The other thing is that we are also tied, our identities are tied up with what we do, our sense of self-worth, self-esteem, all of those things. And women are not just mothers and wives, they also have a different identity of who they are at work.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not just um, uh, when you go out to work, you're not a mother there, you are who you are. Like Akriti, the character is Akriti, and of course she feels a huge sense of loss and huge sense of self-worth. For me, what was also interesting is that what it does to a relationship with the person that's closest to you, and that's the husband in this case. And how does he deal with it? How do you deal
Hmm.
with your partner's grief, in a sense,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
partner's rage and sense of injustice? And what does it do to you as a couple? How do you come out of it unscathed? Does it change you? Does it change your perspective on the world? Do you start seeing things differently? Do you kind of, So I think those things were very interesting for me to explore, and which I did with, enabled by two brilliant actors.
I think Shreya and Priyanshu, I don't even have to go to, uh, introduce you guys to people who will watch this interview later, because your work has spoken for itself, right from the word go. I think, Shreya for what she's done in Scam, and then Priyanshu from Bhavesh to, I think, everything, even to Rashmi Rocket. I mean, so much that you guys have done. But talking about this particular story, Shreya, I think in the trailer there's one dialogue that you say it feels like a breakup. They're just like three words, but it's so loaded because we kind of get a sense that here's a woman who had invested in her career as much as her relationship. So tell me about your character. What kind of insights did you have to bring to the character from your experience, from what you were looking around yourself?
Sorry, I'll just correct Shreya. The line is, I feel like I got dumped.
Oh yeah, I feel like I got dumped. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I take all of my instruction genuinely from the page and from my director. And both of them were as strong as the line that you just said.
Mm.
Uh, but there was so much quiet annihilation within the lines of the story. And if that comes true, if the words that are there on the page that are true, and you have a director who really knows what she's looking for, what she's looking to portray, what she's looking to show. I mean, that's a gift. Yeah, I feel like my only job was to show up on set and not look out of place. You know, because everything else was set up. It's like a here platter, take it, enjoy. You know, it's when it's set up like that, it's truly a boon. And then you have someone like Priyanshu, who's like the perfect part. I mean, because the best joy of playing a game is that when you make, when you throw a serve, you have that return. And how he returns, yeah. I mean, it's amazing when you can play off your director and you can play off your actor like that. It's just, it's just a gift for me. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to make sure that I said the right words in the right order.
Mm-hmm. Priyanshu, I think you're just setting the precedent for being the young, approachable, affable husband. You know, everybody, I think, will keep thinking
People
of you
keep
like
forgetting the delicious villain from Extraction. He's not that affable. If you see that film,
No, but see, I think 2020 was me. 2020 was me as the villain and the cunning guy in Mirzapur. But 21
Yeah.
became the husband. So suddenly
Yeah.
now every year I'm trying to change the personality. And 21 was last year was just because of Rashmi Rocket. Thankfully, वहाँ पे एक army officer, everybody wanted that guy. After that,
Yeah.
here there is this husband. I'm trying to be the good husband, but it's during the lockdown. I think we tried doing a lot of things to solve things, but I don't think we were in the state of mind to do right things. So he does make mistakes. He does try a lot of attempts to make her feel comfortable, her partner make her comfortable, balance her emotionally, help her out, or even just to make her laugh or smile or look at the bright side. But that doesn't happen. Again, we all know if you're laid off from our work, how how we feel, how it affects our self-esteem. So I've been saying this, but if this would have been in a different time zone, maybe they would have dealt with it differently. Maybe as a couple, they would have dealt it differently. But because the outside world was during the pandemic and this happens between a couple, what happens there? How does this, a good husband, which I'm trying to be, who may not be the good husband, so what happens with him? That's the deal. So I think it's very, very real. It's very, very real because when I also read the script, in the only fact that I didn't know, I knew people who had been laid off from the work, but which Nupur told me later was that out of 6, at least 4 were women across the world. So that was a very big news, and which is stupid. But I would, so we try. But I think a lot of us faced the same thing, and that's why I think we're just trying to tell this one real story here.
So Priyanshu and Shreya, tell me something. Were there some scenes where you really felt emotionally drained? Because again, I'm going by what I watched in the trailer. It feels like there are a lot of serious scenes between the two of you as a young couple who's grappling with this sudden job loss and then what's happening around us. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
there is, I'm not going to say what, but there is, yeah, where we had to do a little bit of heavy weightlifting. But again, thanks to Priyanshu and thanks to Nupur, it did all that. It really did. Like, because it was, I don't know, I feel like he was taking some of the tension from me. And I feel like Nupur was taking the other tension from me. So I feel like I was very halka, because both of them took 50-50 each. So, but honestly, because we had the heavy day for the last day.
Yeah.
But because they took their share each, I felt like, we were chilling and eating again, because of these two.
Priyanshu, you have an answer to that. How did you feel? Because she felt you've taken the weight off her.
No. I mean, she's just trying to sound very simple and ऐसा नहीं था. I mean, it has to be all three of us come into the same page to understand what we're trying to say. And of course, the heavyweight scenes are especially the ones which take a emotional turmoil. मतलब हो जाता है आपके especially for me, the way I'm not in real life, and if I have to really put that across, those are the days which I'm kind of struggling. But it becomes easy again, as I would say, because she plays it very spontaneous. She's very easy on set. I think a lot.
Yeah, he does. He does think a lot.
I think a lot. I have to rehearse it out. I have to make it easy, and then Nupur kind of balances it. So I think that really worked. So even if you're doing a heavy scene, long scenes, argument.
No, but this is credit to Nupura, honestly, because I don't like too much rehearsal, because all the prep and the homework that I do whatever. I do everything before I need to get to set. So on set, I'm like a butterfly. Like I go from here to there, freaking out, and then they have to contain me. But then Priyanshu again actually does that. He takes his time. He gets into his zone. He prepares. And Nupur handle, again, these are very diametrically opposite styles of working. But then full credit to Nupur. She knew exactly what to do with the both of us separately and together to
Yeah.
make it a comfortable like manner of our style of working, which is
And we've been saying this, and we were discussing this on set also, that the way we are actually in real life, we're playing the opposite. The way she is in real life, she's actually playing kind of very different from what she is, and I'm playing very different. I'm actually playing the way she is in real life.
Okay.
times 10 into crack.
Very interesting. Nupur, you have seen an entire generation, because I remember watching Hip Hop Hooray as a young teenager.
Oh,
And
thanks
then-
for making me feel like a fossil, Aisha, right now.
Not at all. Please don't think that.
Nobody-
Not at all. You
Iconic Hip Hip Hooray. I even
exactly.
song. Come on.
How has the pandemic changed all three of you, your perspective to life, and what do you want the audience to take away from your story?
For me, it's the idea of just valuing small things in life, giving importance to your loved ones, giving importance to your time, yourself, your health, and yeah. But now I've actually kind of. I mean, I'm trying to divide my work time is my work time, my personal time is my personal time, my me time is my me time, and not, basically give them undivided attention and give them importance, because we realized, I think, small basic things, how important they are in life. That and with our season, I think, of this Unpaused 2, where we are trying to say what happened in 2021 after the second wave, where we have slowly started ignoring COVID. We should be very careful. The pandemic is still on, and I think when people watch these stories, what happened in second wave, where we were used to all kind of things across Zoom calls, working online, and sanitizers and masks and all, but there are other after effects of the pandemic, which is what happened, and people are still struggling with it. People are still trying to struggle with their livelihood. I just hope people take precautions here after watching this film and start realizing कि हमें एक और lockdown में नहीं जाना है.
Yeah. Shreya?
The same, yeah, because for me, I've become a lot more calmer because of the pandemic, new work for life and all of that. Again, I do realize I'm speaking from a position of privilege. I will repeat it every time because of how ridiculous the differences are. But yes, I hope, it feels a little selfish to ask people to watch the show regarding, considering what people are going through, but do watch the show, and tell us what you think and all of that. Tell Priyanshu all the bad things, tell me the good things.
Yeah.
Nupur, your answer?
Well, gratitude and balance, I think, are the two things that have been big for me. And I hope that when people watch this film, they get a kind of an insight into not just their own lives, but also what other people have been going through. And there's a sense of compassion that I hope is a sense of takeaway for everybody from the film. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, all three of you. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And please keep making such films so that we get to watch good quality content. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.